New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. I'm delighted to be joined by the wonderfully talented RubEn Navarro, who is right here with us with his fantastic movie of Hearts and Castles. But for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at the clip.
You know those castles you build with blocks when you're little? And you don't realize that you put one of the pieces in the wrong place. You keep building it, and the whole castle collapses. Now you have to rebuild it.
I'm so glad you made this film. I got so much from it, and I'm still thinking about it. But for those that haven't seen your film, tell us a brief synopsis.
Wow. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me and being able to be part of this. Well, the film is a story about this man who's going through a breakup, and he goes out one night and meets another man, and they have a very special connection that night. And it's kind of like, how about, meeting a stranger about being vulnerable? How can actually open something different, and how that experience could be very profound even.
Yeah, and just connection that we have with other human beings, and when you think you're in the desperately dark place that you never know what can enlighten you in your future. I mean, I just love all the poetic elements to it, the beautifulness of just this newly formed relationship of someone going through something that was challenging and going through the emotions of what a breakup brings. Where the inspiration come for you in making this film, and particularly in this wonderful style?
Well, the inspiration comes from actually a personal experience. I was going through a breakup, and everything that I felt and everything that I went through, all those emotions, I kind of put everything into this movie. It's not my personal story, per se, but there is a lot of me in this movie. And actually, people, who know me very well, they told me it looks like, many of the characters, it looks like it's talking through you. Mm-hmm. It's like both characters are almost like two versions of myself.
Yeah.
In a way. It's funny because when I did a table read with actors, after the table read, before we shoot, we're talking about, the characters and how each of them see things and life. There was a moment I was like, okay, guys, look like you're talking about me right now. Like, which is, to me, is great. And it's crazy because it's not my personal story, but I wrote it, so I use my experience,
Yeah. I mean, firstly, let me tell you, I honestly felt that there was they were so beautiful to watch on camera. They had such a wonderful, unique connection that really came across. It made me very intrigued as the movie progressed and as their relationship developed. Taking obviously the context of the writing and then working as a director, like, how did you bring your cast together? And they were fantastic, and they're all really fantastic in many other projects as well I've seen. But bringing your cast together, how was that experience for you?
That was great. Actually, it's funny because one of them, Luis Carazo, who plays Angel, he was in the table read. I contacted him. I didn't know him in person, but I've seen, some of his work, and I've seen at the time, his headshots. We have many friends in common. We were friends on Facebook, and I kept seeing his picture on Facebook. I kept seeing the character that I was writing. I was like, it's very similar to what I have, in mind. So I reached out to him, and I told him if he would be willing to, help out for the table read, just to help us with that. And of course, like, if he likes the story, he could be considered for the role. Yeah. And he read the script, he loved it, and he's like, yeah, I'm down. So he came to the table read. I was just like, it's him. It's really him. I still did auditions to other people, and I called him straight to the callback, but it was just like, he had such a he's so vulnerable, you know,
Yeah.
and his eyes, I don't know, there was something about him that it really portrayed this character.
No, definitely. I mean, you really got it. It was an incredible experience to watch it.
Yeah.
You really felt the emotion in there as well. For you as a director, even when you're working on something like this, and when you're working with actors, and there's intimacy in terms of connectivity and emotion and dialogue, and all the juicy dialogue he gave us as well. How do you work with your actors? Do you
Mhm.
quite hands on? Do you let people play? What's your kind of process?
In this case, for example, I love working with actors. I love it. I think it's great to go, to the story and talk to them and understand better everything that comes of the problems, like conflicts, everything. In this case, after I cast, well, I was telling you about Luis, but then Feliman, I cast him through auditions. Um, to me, it was very important that they have like the chemistry, right?
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know how, but I knew they were gonna have it when I cast them separately. I never did like a screen test with the two of them. I just met them and I just felt them and I knew they were gonna be great. So we met for rehearsal, but I mean not really rehearsal. We just met and we talked for 2 hours. And we talk about our own experiences. We talk about, our own breakups, our own love stories. We talk about life in general. That was how we approach everything, really. And then we read it a couple of times, and I told him a little bit what I was looking for, but we didn't really rehearse and we didn't really do much. We just went to set, and then thanks to that conversation and the way the three of us bonded together that way, and how well we connected with each other, when we were on set, everything kind of flew. And I really have like notes for them, to be honest, just because, that conversation, we were on the same page, and we knew what to expect. There were a couple of things here and there, but to me, my approach is just go to them and go to a story, go like, why, like, how would you feel something like this happen, like, you don't know if this person, I remember this note that I think was very important for them, which was when they start getting a little more intimate, I told them, this is like a game. It's like, if I touch you here, will you be okay with that?
Yeah.
And then I do that, and then you're okay with that. That means now I can do this, right? So this is like a game. You don't know if he's okay with that. You don't know if he will be okay with that either. So I need to see that dynamic, back and forth, and see where it goes, right? So that's basically like how I play with them, and they really like that, and it became very soft and smooth and very respectful, like, okay, I wanna touch you, but I want to be respectful. You're okay, and all that dialogue is there without being said,
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, there's so much depth in there. And I love that you took the time to really analyze with your actors too, and really go through in such detail, because it really plays off on camera, really, really well. Like, I felt like I wasn't even breathing for a sense, because I didn't want to miss a beat. It was really special. And I just want to say, as I mentioned at the film festival, for someone that's kind of gone through something recently, like, I found your film so healing. It was healing. And sometimes when we share personal experiences and university put it out there, we never know who we're going to touch. And I'm just curious, for you personally, putting this out there, RubEn, like, what did you want your audience to take from your film?
I think, well, first of all, I'm glad it touched you, and it was healing. That was, I guess, the whole point of making this. Is creating a piece of me and put it out there for people to really experience that. And it makes me very, very happy that if the moment that it touched one person, I think you're already you're already okay. You got it. I did something. Someone was, touched by this. I did it already,
Yeah.
I think, to me, this is, everyone has this person who you met one time who gave you something.
Yes.
very powerful for your life,
Yeah.
like a message, like something. But to me, what is fascinating is like this person that you will always remember, that person might don't even be aware of that, you know? That person might not even understand how profound for you that experience was.
Absolutely.
That person might even like don't remember you at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To me, this story between these two strangers almost like that. It's like, wow, you come into my life, you gave me this life lesson, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is crazy. And I wanted to stay home tonight. You know, I didn't want to go out tonight. And look what I was missing. You know, like the opportunities to learn are there. Just need to be open for them. So I guess that's what I take. You know, like, you know, be open and see what you can learn from. Everyone can teach you something. I have those experiences. I was one time actually at a restaurant at a veggie grill. Can I say the name?
If they fund your next film, totally.
Oh yeah, please, veggie grill. No, one time, this is completely different, but just my own experience. I was just in my own world, and then this man was sitting next to me, and he was like, "Hey, this is the first time that I'm doing, you know, vegan food. Are you vegan?" I'm like, "Are you talking to me?" You know? And then I was like, "No, actually, I'm not vegan, but I like vegan food, so that's why I'm here." I don't know. I mean, I don't want to, like, you know, talk too much, but basically, which is like at the beginning, I was kind of like, "Wait, are you a weirdo or something? Why do you want to talk to me?" We ended up having the most amazing conversation.
I love that.
You know, and that's these people. Sometimes we are too much in our own world that we don't see that. Sometimes people just want to be nice and you know, talk to you.
Absolutely. And like, I mean, that's exactly. And sometimes we don't know when a person comes into our life and what they have, you know, even if it's for a brief moment or for a long period, you know, it's a moment in time and it can change and enhance us. And that's what's so special about your film is that, you know, it was a moment in time that, you know, did something to both of them, you know, in different ways. And that was beautiful. What is next for you, RubEn?
What is next?
Yeah.
So I have 2 short films coming up. They are already done. One is already like completely done. It's called Masaru. We are submitting to festivals just right now. We just started. So hopefully we'll get something soon and people will be able to see it. The other one is called I Am. And it's done too. We're just finishing up music mixing.
Oh, wonderful.
So probably within a month, maybe, hopefully we'll have it out and we'll start submitting. And I'm writing the feature film based on the short film of Arts and Castles, because
yes, I love it.
We want to keep seeing what happened with these 2 guys.
We really do, honestly. You know, I really wanted to know what next, and I was so intrigued in this world you created for us. So I'm so glad that you're working on the feature film version of it. They're very, very good. But just want to say a really big thank you for bringing this film to New Filmmakers LA. It was so wonderful to get the reaction of people from your film yesterday as well at the festival. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And, you know, best wishes to everybody of your cast and crew because they did a really great job.
Thank you. I'll let them know for sure.
Yes.
Thank you.